We are being told a ceasefire deal in the Hamas-Israel war could be hours or if not days away, and that we have never come this far before in a lasting ceasefire deal. What's your assessment about where we're at the moment?
Well, I would just mirror what the American Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, said earlier today, that, look, everyone is optimistic, more so than we've ever seen before. But as the Secretary of State warned, you know, we've almost been here before, and then we just see it all fall apart at the last minute. Now, from the people I'm talking to, there is quite a bit of confidence that this one might actually work. It's not a very pretty deal that's on offer, but it's one that could be realised. The government of Qatar has said that it's very confident and that basically there's a handshake agreement. What it would see is that Israeli forces would maintain a corridor to the south of Gaza, bordering Egypt. They want a buffer zone to the north along their own border in Gaza. And then it's about the hostages. But people are criticising the deal because of the slow pace that's been outlined. It would take 6 weeks to release 33 hostages, some of them alive, some of them dead. Then they have two, and within 2 weeks they had to begin negotiations for a permanent ceasefire. So look, there's still a long ways to go, but you cannot deny that the sense of optimism in the region and in DC is extraordinarily high and at a level we haven't seen before. We may be on the cusp of a deal.
Donald Trump's pick for Defence Secretary Pete Hegseth has been appearing in front of a Senate Armed Services Committee for a confirmation hearing, and it was even interrupted by protesters at one point.
Yeah, it was. There was people who were screaming about murdering babies and children, and they were quickly evicted. But at the end of the day, I would have to agree with the Republican chairman of the committee. He described Pete Hegseth's performance as a tour de force. I wouldn't quite put it that way, but he said that after this hearing, it would be very hard for any Republican congressman or woman to vote against him. Such was the chairman's view of his performance. Now, his interrogation or his questioning focused on 4 issues. His experience or relative lack thereof of running large organisations, his statements over 12 years on women in combat. For 12 years, he's been saying and writing that under no circumstances women should be in combat, essentially because they distract the men. But, from the minute he was nominated, suddenly he now supports women in combat, according to some of the questioning. The other 2 areas are much murkier and are much darker. One is his drinking. Now, there's numerous allegations about his drinking being out of control, particularly when he was running some veterans organisations. A slew of alleged incidents where he had to be dragged out or carried out of events. There's also, but he describes those as anonymous smears, all of those allegations. The other issue was more concerning is allegations of sexual assault. Now, he denies them out, but all of the allegations of sexual assault are now shrouded by swarms of non-disclosure agreements. So we may never get to the bottom of them.
Okay. Michael Ware, appreciate it. Thank you.